Welcome back to Musti's little cave. I spoke my first upload. I didn't go too far deep into the superficial, my personal life. I wanted to talk a little bit more about business, what I'm up to. Um, just, yeah, a bit more info about the business model that I'm trying to build. And just a little bit about the entrepreneurship kind of industry in Australia. It's very it's very it's a trendy kind of, I mean, pretty much like everywhere else in the world, but in Australia I guess it's still emerging in pretty early stages, or emerging from early stages, just in terms of that niche of that self-improvement, like entrepreneurship, self-growth, um, that that whole space, you could say. Um, I decided to. I mean, last year I was researching the agency marketing business model for a few months. After a few months of solid research, joined a few groups, few like a Discord, small community of like other agency owners around the world, like a couple of WhatsApp groups as well. Just learning all the different kind of methods that they're doing overseas. The one thing all of these business owners and agency owners have in common is they're targeting the same market, US and the UK. I don't even think I know one agency owner. I don't even think there's any in the community that are from the US. There's guys that I follow. Um, the main mentor that I'm learning off, he's from Europe. He's in Belgium or Netherlands. Most of his client base, I think all of his client base is in the US. There's a few guys I follow from the UK. They're all based in Dubai, but they're all from the UK. So their agencies, all their businesses, I guess it's just that textbook entrepreneurship, step-by-step method. I guess when they start to hit six figures, they move straight to the UAE. But all of their agencies run their client bases all in the UK. So there's actually in that group there's a couple of Aussies. Even in the Discord that I'm in with the European guys, he's got two Aussie students, one from Melbourne, one from Sydney. Young guys, they're all like early to mid 20s. I don't even think there's anyone in their 30s. Small group, there's like probably less than 100 people. Yeah, like I was quick to, in my research, I was quick to really get the clear picture of not how bad it is here, but like how far behind, like how it's unbelievably so far behind. Like our economy, this Australian economy was never built on innovation and entrepreneurship. It's built on pure monopoly and housing, property investment. That's what they've built this whole economy on. It's why over 80% of the population live in 3 of the cities. In a continent, I think almost the size of Europe. I think Australia is bigger than most of Western Europe, actually. It's irrational. It's so far out of proportion. I mean, if you live here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I got this one bedroom for myself. I think I underestimated how, when I started going out a little bit more, meeting people, just going out in the public more, meeting girls, not really dating, but just talking, getting to know people, I really underestimated how above average just living this average life is in Australia. I mean, I'm not too far from the city, but still, it's like just paying rent now is like paying rent for yourself. It's like you're already in the top 10%. That gives you, a real gauge on how far down this economy has really, really collapsed. And I really got a good gauge of it when I decided to take the entrepreneurship journey as seriously as I ever have. I got the agency running. I got a couple clients, just running their ads, getting leads, charging a small commission at the start. I'm trying to build the same system as these other mentors are doing, which is pretty much just AI, automated lead generation, and automated appointment booking, like automated jobs booked in the calendar, all automated. You know what I mean? It's like 20 times harder and more work than, even 5-6 months of researching this business model. It's just, I went through that, like the big, great Iranian entrepreneur, Mr. Hormozi. I think I think one of his lessons that has really stuck with me is what he always talks about, in getting involved into the whatever business model. I'm well and truly past that uninformed optimism. This year I went through, I think, the most informed pessimism, and probably the last month or two since I've been getting results, small results, but since I've managed it, the small result is like, it's a tiny result, but you've created fire from nothing. You know what I mean? It's like you created fire from a bunch of wooden scraps. It's a spark. The flame is lit. So I'm kind of, I feel like I can really, really feel that I've emerged out of that informed pessimism, and I think I'm pretty solid way into informed optimism with this model, even though I can see how pathetic the industry really is in Australia. You got like 99% are just pump and dump TikTok marketers, all early 20s, trying to bring in as many clients as I can in 1 or 2 months, charge everyone, startup fees, commissions, whatever up front, and pretty much not retaining anyone. Their entire income is just signing people up, selling their bullshit, their slop, and then you got 1% that are just on like 100k, 200k, $1 million a month. You know what I mean? That's the monopoly. The good thing is there's no real, most of the business, most of the industry, there's no competition in between. You know what I mean? It's like you get that tiny bit of solid, honest result for your clients. You're already way ahead of the 90%. You know what I mean? And now, you're pretty much only competing with yourself until you get to that top, agency final boss. I don't want to say any names or companies or agencies in the video, so I don't know who's watching. I don't know if it's going to get shared up. I don't know too much about the whole YouTube regulation. You know what I mean? But there's pretty much like, with this business model, these marketing agencies, like, 6-figure months, like 100K a month, you could count the agencies honestly on one hand. You know what I mean? You know, for an entire country. It's like one guy gets, you know, in the top 1% entrepreneur in Australia. He's the top 1%. I mean, you place him anywhere else in the world. You take him to anywhere else, the UK, New York, take him to the UAE or anywhere, any solid big economy in Europe, that top 1% guy in Australia is not even like a tiny little fish in another pond. You know what I mean? He's not even in the top 50%. Like a guy making, you know, like let's say 30-year-old making 100K a month from his agency here is a top probably 0.1% guy in Australia. He's one in 10,000 more. I mean, that's honest. I mean, more seriously. But you take him anywhere else, and he's literally just insignificant. You take him to like, you know, these guys doing these mastermind, these agency owners in Europe, in London. I watch one of the mentors. He's a really good YouTube channel. You know, he holds these masterminds, and he's got like 200 or 300 people just in his community, right? Just in his circle, all on like 6-figure months. You know what I mean? They're all millionaires. They're all. It's like, it's weird. It's so out of proportion. It's unbelievable. Seriously, it's like you don't even know how this became possible. It's not a pessimistic realization. You know, it's not like it's not hopeless. You know, it's more like because you've taken it so seriously, you've gone so like I've researched so deeply and so real. Like the research has, you know, in this industry has been so genuine. I'm like, I really wanted to expose, okay, I know what this model is. Let's go. What's going on? Why is it? Is anyone doing it? Like, who are the mentors? Who are the big agency guys, you know, in Melbourne? Who, like, let's see. Come on, what's going on? What's going on here? And then you unpack and you're just excavating through the absolute, all the superficial bullshit, all the ads and all the, you know, all the guys you see on Facebook and the guys that come up on your algorithm just selling you garbage. And then you really get to, you know, behind the scenes of the industry, and you don't find anyone there. You're like, it's exactly like with dropshipping. You know, I was in e-com for on and off like 2 or 3 years almost, like 2.5 years. You know, when I got to the back end of this game, you know, I realized, you see, I mean, if you think that critically, see, this is the thing, right? It's like a lot of people, most people join these, you know, they sign up, they pay for these courses and they want to learn dropshipping. They want to learn something from, literally from scratch, from zero, I mean, to, you know, escaping the matrix. And they see all these ads, and then they can see that the quickest, easiest way to do that is a business model like dropshipping. Pretty much, you know, start with nothing. You don't even have to buy the products. You don't even have to own the inventory, and you sell, you know, and you're getting paid first before you sell the product, or before you pay for the product. I mean, so it's like, you know, there's no risk, right? That works in every single government, every single economy in the world, except Australia. In Australia, there's no legitimate legislation recognizing dropshipping as an actual commercial practice, right? And all the advertising platforms obviously know this. They have to comply with the government. Google, Facebook, Meta, nothing in Australia. None of these business models comply with the laws in Australia, right? They can never ever tell you this. Like, obviously, like, I mean, what are they going to tell? I joined the two biggest courses, and the two most successful dropshipping communities, right? I joined in Australia. One of them I know personally. One of the guys, really cool, genuine guy. Genuine guy. He's moved to the UAE. The other guy is from Queensland, and I know them. Like, I respect their hustle. Like, they built these courses, and the business model worked. You know what I mean? It's not that it's illegal. It doesn't work, like, especially after the econ boom. During the pandemic and during lockdowns and everything, like, when Meta could see that in Australia the ecom and Facebook ad accounts, I think, like 10x'd, right? From I think what was it? They were saying it in the course. I think from 2020 to 2022, I think. Just like 10x'd, right? Then Facebook, pretty much because of the amount of money that was going into the advertising, they had to crack down on whether this business model is legit in this country, right? That's when you look at the charts, all the Facebook bans, all the ad account bans, just literally, I think. I remember seeing this after like my third or fourth permanent ban on Facebook. One of the guys I was speaking to, the support worker, he was actually he was running ads as well. Some guy Southeast Asian country, and he was showing me a chart, and it showed that 95% of ad accounts in Australia were banned, right, that year. I think 2022, right? No, sorry, last year. Not last year, sorry, 2023. Sorry, 2023, 2 years ago. 95%. And I took a fucking screenshot and I sent it to the course seller, the owner of the course that in Australia that I bought the course off. You know what I mean? Not in a way, I had a good relationship with him, like, not in a way to show him, bro, what the hell's going on, what's this? I just showed him, like, it was more a mutual understanding of, like, bro, you figured out this model, you made your 7 figures before the regulations came in, before the crackdowns came in. You saw that it worked, you sold the business model, you made your profit, and you got the hell out as quick as you possibly can. He's been in Dubai for like 3 years, right? I'm like, it doesn't, it can't work anymore. I'm like, look, fair enough, the course worked. I followed the method, I made sales, I did, like, everything worked, right? The course worked. I couldn't complain about the course, like, his method actually worked, right? I'm like, how could you? He can't say, what's he going to pull up this screenshot in the middle of his course, on his fucking PowerPoints? Look, this is my business model. We're selling these products. We're using Facebook. We're relying 100% of the business to work. We're relying on Meta ads. By the way, 95% of you will be banned. Will be permanently banned, because dropshipping in Australia is not a legitimate commercial practice legally, right? It's not illegal, it's just not recognized by the government as a business model. E-commerce is definitely, right? Like, you can be an online retailer, right? Which is, you're you're literally just a wholesaler selling online, right? You have to legally, stock, to register the business, to be legitimate, the seller has to stock their own inventory, right? You have to be the supplier of whatever you sell. Your ABN has to match the address of where the stock is being held. Like, Google don't bother with it. Google, like, if you can't show them that you're your own supplier, then they won't approve you. You can list on Google, obviously. You can list your website, your domain. You can list it on Google, but you can't run ads. With Meta, it's like, I don't know if Zuckerberg's a Jew. He's probably a Jew, but it's like they're willing to let. If your site looks legit, you got all your policies, you got your addresses, you got your contact information, you got your refund policy. If it looks the part, they'll let it slide. You know what I mean? Just make sure, okay, you got your warranty, it's good. You know what I mean? They'll take the cash. And they'll let it slide. Something comes up, a couple customers, people start reporting or sharing or, commenting on your posts like, oh, you can find this cheaper on Aldi or something, or just go to eBay. Straight away, Facebook pretend like they didn't even know your site. Like, whoa, what the hell is this air raid dropshipping? Ban. We don't know anything about this. Ban. This site shouldn't have been approved, right? They act like nothing really, they act like they never really saw it, right? Because it doesn't comply, you know what I mean? So they have to obviously, comply with the government, whatever the government says. If the government call up Zuckerberg, be like, what? How do you have $4 billion this year from advertising revenue, and the business model isn't even a legitimate commercial practice in Australia? I guess that's the whole industry exposed there. I don't mean to really. It's not like, this is gonna be exposed. It's just you accidentally become, you become an entrepreneur. Like, if you're so honest with yourself, like if you decided to become an entrepreneur out of pure psychological integration, right? You've integrated with your deepest, darkest, true self, right? Your shadow. You don't have a choice but to become so critically aware of how the world works. It's impossible to manifest your reality, your desired reality, without knowing 100% exactly how the world works, right? It doesn't work. You can't use the machine to produce what you want if you have no idea what buttons to push. If you don't know what this machine is capable of, and you don't know how it works, you can't ever use it properly, right? You have no choice but to wake up to such a high level of awareness. It's like you accidentally realize that you are the sole creator of your reality, right? And that is unbelievable. It's the most painful. It's like you realize the scam, everything, your whole life, and you got no one to blame but yourself, And then you decide. You look yourself straight in the eyes and you know, either on camera, on the mirror, and you realize, okay, you got yourself here. You just realized that. Now, you can either decide to understand that, realize that, and I mean, you know, not gonna say, you know, what a lot of people do. Don't want to get banned on my second video, but you can pretty much end the path there. Or, I mean, you know that you can't move forward without taking 100% accountability, responsibility, right? Because you're woken up and you're like, all right, you're right on the edge. It's like, I can just jump off. I can jump off now because I know who got myself here. It wasn't my family, it wasn't my country, my government, my friends, my religion, my mentors, my mum, my dad. It wasn't anyone. I got myself here. I realize that now. And then the illusion stops, right? You stop right at the edge of the cliff. And you're looking down, you're like, either I can jump off now, or I can continue to build the path the right way, the correct way, knowing that I'm 100% in control of building this path, which is a rebirth. It's a rebirth. It's you're born again, right? And you're born again through, I mean, like they say in the, you know, the esoteric occult of spirituality, you realize that to forge this path, it's you walk through the fire. They call it the baptism by fire. Most people, most of the population understand that to forge your own path, they have to go through the baptism by fire, and they choose not to, whether consciously or unconsciously. They choose not to, right? I mean, fair enough, they can't bear the pain. The pain is, I mean, it's not what you think. It's not like a physical, I mean, it's not it's a long, I mean, excruciating dismantle of your soul, right? Of your old self, your old identity, you know? You got no choice. Like, you gotta walk the path you chose to. You can't walk that. The path isn't building itself, you're building it, right? I mean, or you could have just jumped off. Because now that you're aware, so you're aware now. So you know now whatever happens in your life is on you. Like 100%. Not 99% or 90% this and it's like 10%. You know what I mean? You know, your dad belted you for the first 15 years of your life, or you know, your mum kind of just chose her, you know, materialistic desires, or she chose, you know, whatever other male attention over you know, giving you the love that that you needed and the nurturing, you know what I mean? It's like everybody ran away from themselves. Everybody knew their own purpose and they ran away from it. It's like most people get by knowing this, and they get by because they blame, they know that they were the victim. This path cannot be built by the victim. Anyway, Yeah, it's the path baptism by fire.